Greetings everyone, and welcome to this Videos on Frontier video. My name is Jay Wakefield. Now, if you've been following the channels of my good friends Billy Corr, Road Geek, and Luke Miller, LML3, you will know that they have been getting their game on with their Sega Genesis, or if you're in the UK, their Sega Mega Drives. And you might be expecting me to do something similar. I mean, I have a really good game that I would play on the Mega Drive. Aladdin. But that's just what you would be expecting me to do. Now, this is a fantastic game. It's a cartridge, which means it's full of cartridge goodness. You've got a wee grip there, which makes it easier to kind of pull it out of the console and even kind of put it in. You grab it like that and just kind of slot it in. And it's got a picture of Aladdin on it and a genie, and it says Sega Mega Drive. So, as to avoid confusion for those of us who would actually try and force it into a Super Nintendo, an Atari Jaguar, a Sega Master System, a Nintendo Entertainment System, or even a Game Boy. And don't say that nobody would, because I guess people probably have tried putting these carts into the back of a Game Boy. But what if you're like me? What if you are a PC gamer at heart? What do I do then? It's a really good game, but I'd like to be able to play it on my PC. If only there was a way that such a thing could be achieved. Oh! Something like this. What this is a big box game, and what this big box game is Aladdin for the PC. It comes in a big box, which has the system requirement. It requires an IBM PC 3.5 inch. I didn't realise there was such a thing there. But it says it requires an IBM PC or 100% compatible, 386DX 33 MHz or above, memory 4 megabytes, 570k of base memory, graphics VGA, MS-DOS 3.3 or later, hard drive space 5 megs, supports Gravis 4-button gamepad and 100% compatible, Sound Blaster and 100% compatible. I wonder what I could play it on. Oh, okay. A Wildcom Presario 2240 has appeared, and this is the first time you'll properly see it in action with the original V410 CRT monitor. So, what happens if you open a box? Well, you get the game discs and an instruction manual. And the instruction manual is really a very important thing here because it has the stupid copy protection system. Oh, and I also got this, which I will be reviewing at a later date, Aladdin's Activity Centre. I'm not sure if it actually came in the box, or whether it was just an add-on that the eBay seller actually put in. But I've been after a PC version of this game for a while, and now I have this one. Let's go ahead and install it. I've started a DOS mode. The Compact Presario 2240, obviously, as you may be aware, doesn't actually have real DOS mode drivers the same way the Armada laptops do. But I've made a real DOS mode configuration with some EMS memory. So let's put these discs in. I don't know if this is even going to work. So I'll navigate to install. Well, the A drive. And I do believe you type you type install, and then you type the directory where you want to put it. So now it's going to extract the archive, or from the archive. This will take a while, and it's a 2-disc set. But in the grand scheme of things, I was thinking about this today. It's... oh, okay. What? Make sure you specified the drive. Oh, yes. Shall I tell you what I forgot to do? I forgot to put that wee slash there, because I'm a complete derp. And now it's a way to copy all the files. Melted? Why is it melting files? I don't want it to melt the files. I want it to copy them. Stop melting all my files. Stop it. I tell you, stop it. Jings, some things ne'er learn. Ken, this is ridiculous. And it keeps telling me, ooh, look at this. Melted. ALOO.xis. Ooh. Melted. It's just all these oohs. Is that what you do when you melt a file? You go ooh, and then there's oh. All I have to say to that is oh, okay. Well, why don't you play with the soup and the beans? Look, LGR I am not. So, obviously I'm going to chat absolute nonsense in my videos, because that's what I do. Do you know what? I'm going to put this out there. I would very much like to see LGR review this game, because it is a fantastic game. I've never played the PC version, but I have played the Mega Drive version, and... well, I have played this game... well, I have played Aladdin on this computer, using a Sega Mega Drive and Genesis emulator. Okay, disc 1 installed successfully. Please insert disc 2. Then press any key to continue. There's no any key. Well done, disc 1. You've done well today. Why don't you go in the box and have a wee rest? There you go. I'll be in soon with a cup of tea. You did really well copying all live files. Disc 2, you're up. See if you can copy the files. I ken you're getting on a wee bit, but come on. I do actually plan to make backups of these discs. And I am aware this hard disk drive is the noisiest hard disk drive in the world. But I'll tell you something, it served us well. But you know, I love playing on this machine. It is just fantastic. There's no other word for it. Fantastic. I will, once I start playing this regularly, I will be setting it up to use with this gamepad that I got on FreeCycle 2 years ago. It's an an in-touch gamepad. And it's certainly in touch with the times for retro gaming computer site, because it kind of looks like the offspring of it kind of looks like what happens when a Super Nintendo gamepad meets a 6-button Sega Mega Drive gamepad in the moorings, go home together after getting exceedingly inebriated and produce this as offspring. It actually does look like a cross between a Sega Mega Drive and then Super Nintendo gamepad, but it plugs into the back of a PC. Okay, after changing the installation process is complete. Well done to you as well, Disc 2. Why don't you go and join your pal, Disc 1, okay? So I'll put the discs back in the box, but I'm still going to need the manual. Now what does this tell me to do? Because I still need to set up my sound. After changing to the correct drive and directory, type set S&D to set up the sound options, or type Aladdin to play the game. Okay, so I want to go to C:, and then change directory, so CD, ALADD, Now I want to set up the sound first of all, so SETSND. I believe I have, I'm going to select Sound Blaster and AWE32. Okay, play enhanced music. I believe playing enhanced music will require extra. Is the selection correct? There's currently less than 500. Game may not be able to play music. Oh, okay. Right. So, this is a copy protection. From your manual, please type the word at the following location. MB, please include all headings. So page number 12, paragraph 9, word number 2. So I'm going to have to do this. Finally, I got in. Oh wow, it looks exactly, well, the menu screen looks completely different. Okay, so now we're actually going to try and play this. Sorry about the refresh lines, guys. I knew this was going to be a problem. I'll tell you something, the sound effects are much better on this version than they are in the Mega Drive version. I love that. Yeah, this is it. So, Camel, what do you think of the 6th anniversary of Rockin' Waves? Oh, come on! It's really quite good. You've got all the music, you've got all the DJs, and Rockin' Waves is now part of Stereo Dust Particles. Seriously, you've got to have something to say to that. Now just move on. Yeah, and I can't play the game one-handed. Oh no! I can't do it one-handed. Jings. It's a shame. I might actually see if I put it back to regular music. Actually, I'll do that. Quiet game. I can play this, but not. I think that could be a... Right, let's see. Let's go back to setting up the sound. Oops. I'll put Swatch Sound. SETSND. Sound Blaster and offer 32. Yep. No. Okay. Okay, so this again. I hate this copy protection because you don't know what a paragraph is. You know? I know to include all the headings, but are they paragraphs? I don't know. The only reason I got in last time because I had the first word of the first paragraph. Easy. Okay, let's do this again. I got back in. Let's try now, see if I can get music. I know I've not got enough memory and it said music might not play. But I actually really like the soundtrack to this game, so naturally oh, crevens. Unfortunately, it's not as easy, I think, to move out of the flaming coal pits in the PC version as it is on the Mega Drive version, so yeah, sorry about it. Jings, that really was shaky. Sorry about that. Oh, well done. And that's how you die. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to hold the camera steady and play the game. It's I mean, I don't have a suitable tripod. I'd like to, but I mean, the way I have to sit close at the screen and look at it, you know, it's kind of difficult to be able to, have a tripod in the way. I'll see what I can do, actually. I might have a mess around with the config files. And just see what I can do to make it, work.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
The music partly makes this game, so to not have the music, it really is not the best. I'll see what I can do, actually. I'm just... Cracked it! Had to disable the CD-ROM driver. Oh, wow! Listen at that! Fantastic sound. Wow. Right, I'm going to see if I can get to my favourite level, and then I'm going to play through my favourite piece of music. Okay, hopefully now this will play my favourite music. I want to see how it sounds on here. I must admit, I preferred the Genesis version with the harmonies. But let's give this a chance to actually get going. Dance! Dance! Doesn't sound bad, but I must say, on this occasion, I actually prefer the Mega Drive version. Especially of that song, because that had something called Harmony, which sounded amazing. I should try it with the enhanced mode music. I think I'll do that. Nope, sounds exactly the same. So I don't know what they're prattling on about with this enhanced music nonsense. So, what do I think of the game? Well, I don't know. I must admit, it plays just about as well as the Mega Drive version. The colours are the same. Sound effects are better. In some cases the music is, but I just don't like that particular rendition of One Jump Ahead. But suffice it to say, the rest of the music does actually sound better than the Mega Drive version, more realistic. However, there's one thing that I cannot get over in this game. I will never forgive it of this sin, and that is the copy protection. Now, I understand that it's easy to copy a floppy disk, and, games developers, had to protect their profit margins. It's expensive to develop a game, blah, blah, blah. But really, it's arbitrary, because sometimes a heading is counted as a separate paragraph and sometimes not. And it's like, there's been times, I mean, I've tried different words. I've had the same sort of number, same paragraph number and words, what have you, come up, tried different words, tried different ways of doing it, and it's just not worked. Seriously. I can't get it to go most of the time. So I'm having to keep typing it in, and then after 2 attempts it's like, oh, it's incorrect. And then I've got to restart the game, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. But seriously, it is just completely, it takes away from the enjoyment of the game. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. It's just like SimCity. The latest version today, when it came out, okay, it's gotten a lot better, but when it came out, it had to, phone home pretty much all the time. It was basically, like, a partner who has anxiety, always needing to know that they're safe or what have you. Are you still there? Yes, I'm still there. I'm still genuine. It got to the point, because the servers got jammed up, it took away from the enjoyment of the game. And as a result, a lot of people haven't bought the new SimCity. And that is the same with this. It's like, yes, I am a PC gamer at heart. I will always reach for the PC version of a particular game before I'll reach for the console version. Say Grand Theft Auto. I'll sooner start my computer up and play it than I would start the PlayStation up to play it. However, in this game's case, I think I may make an exception. I'm probably going to keep a hold of this because these seem to be as rare as hen's teeth. I couldn't find it. I am going to keep a hold of it, and I am going to figure out all the words. I'm gonna end up writing them down. What word is what. At which point I could then, if I wanted, let's be honest about these things. I could write these words down and just hand them out. And that's not what that's not what the developers had in mind. For, me to be handing these words out. It encourages copy protection circumvention measures. The sort of thing. It doesn't work. It does not work. I'm going to keep a hold of this. Because, I do like the game, and I'd like to have a go with the Activity Centre, and, a box game of old, it's nice to have, especially as I am into retro PC games. I do like it, and it plays quite well on this Compact Presario 2240. However, if I just want a quick game of Aladdin, I reckon I'm going to be reaching for the Mega Drive version. Because all I have to do is put the cartridge in the console, switch the TV on, switch it on, grab the control, get myself comfortable, get a cup of tea, and sit there and play. That is all I have to do. Just drop the cart in, switch on, and play. Whereas this, I've got to try and try and crack the, some World War II codes or something to get in the thing, It's an unforgivable sin. It really, really is. In J Scotland, this sort of copy protection rubbish would be punishable by a one-way ticket to Azkaban. And yes, I am aware that I'm a muggle. And also, there's one thing that I'm not too keen on with this game, both the PC version and the Mega Drive version. Don't get me wrong, I love the game. It was the first game I actually bought when I got my Mega Drive. I played it at my friend, I remember when I was, nearly 15, I borrowed, my school friend loaned me his Model 2 Mega Drive and a few games, and I was just totally addicted to Aladdin. Absolutely fantastic. Loved it. What was I saying, Nanu? But there's one thing that I'm not too keen on with this game, and that is that not only can you not save, but it doesn't seem to give you a password. I understand, limitations of carts back in the day. Never mind that Super Mario World for the SNES managed to do it. Crack the whole saving thing. As did Super Mario Land 2 for the Game Boy. The Mega Drive version I could probably forgive that sin, but the PC version, got a flaming hard disk. Seriously, I have a hard disk. What hardship would it be to just be able to save to the hard disk? Save my file. Do you want to open this file? Yes. Okay. I mean, I'm really not that good at games, so it takes me longer to get through them than a lot of people. And to be honest, that it kind of encourages people to spend too long on a video game system. Because it's like you want to get to the next level, but you don't want to turn it off because you're going to have to start right from the beginning. That's very boring. So if I was actually going to play this game with a view to actually complete it rather than just to have fun, what I would actually do is play it on an emulator, because an emulator supports save states. So, and that's the first time I would do that, because generally, while I think emulating games is a brilliant idea, if you kind of get a hold of the original console, if you've got the original console, if you have a choice between emulating and getting the original system, I would say get the original system. But in this case, I'd say I'd have to emulate because of the save state thing. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But it does sound like a bit of a negative, but it isn't, because if I was reviewing Aladdin for the Mega Drive, I'd say this is a genuinely brilliant game. I love the character. I love it. The character deaths, and when when you actually, it's like in the second level, you get the parrot Largo. Is it Yargo or Largo? I think it's Yargo in this case. Yargo, the parrot comes along, you're grabbing onto this vine, and the parrot's flying towards you. Now, it's going to get you. You slash it with your sword. It doesn't behead it or anything. You basically just chop all its feathers off, and it's there, kind of featherless, and falls to the ground. That's funny. That's pretty hilarious, actually. I wouldn't recommend you try and defeather a parrot like that in real life. I seriously must tell you not to do such a thing, because you probably will kill it, and I don't want to be held responsible. In fact, I will not be held responsible. You must not do anything with swords, seriously, unless you get a full Nibodo fencing instructor to teach you, and even then, just don't. But there's another example, like, one of the guards. It's like you throw an apple at one of the guards, his trousers fall down. It ends up in just his breeks. Ends up in just his underwear. James, that's funny. Well, only very briefly, but it's just kind of slapstick cartoon humour that you kind of, we as kids of the 90s kind of came to expect from our cartoons. It's, slapstick humour in the video games, and they just don't have that anymore. EXW Bell is right, when he says that, games used to have a sense of humour, as did other software programs. And, I kind of miss that. I kind of miss that in newer games. Like, it's all just too serious, it's all just... it's all just a total nerdgasm. Like, look at this! I managed to get the game to run at, 12 kiloframes a second at blooming 26K resolution. How brilliant am I? It's like, it's more than the human eye can see. Even, a fully sighted person. Enough. Stop it. You don't need it. And the games are just not about enjoyment anymore. It's like, I've got to complete this mission. I've got to complete this mission on Call of Duty, and and then the multiplayer mode's even more nasty, because you get to hear what the other players want to do with certain members of your family, usually your mother. That's just disrespectful. You get none of that with a game like this. You just put in the discs, you install, you bang your head at the blooming copyright protection errors and what have you. You eventually get in, you play, you have a good time. And that is what a game should be about. And overall, I do believe that Aladdin offers that. But I'm going to recommend buy the Mega Drive version. It's more readily available, and it's not got any of the copy protection stuff. So, Jay approved, get that. Aladdin for the Mega Drive. And if you don't have a Mega Drive, get one. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please feel free to try that again. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and if you like what I do, please feel free to subscribe, like Videos from Frontier on Facebook, and the URLs for both the channel and the Facebook page will follow in the credits. But most of all, thank you for watching, and please join me again for my next video.